Hello and welcome along to the Where's My Kit Bag podcast here, hosted by the three lovely media technicians of the Sixth Form College, Farnborough, featuring myself, James.
Me, Will.
And I'm Steve.
I don't know what happened to my voice at the end either. It was a Farnborough. I knew you looked at me weirdly like,
Me and Steve just looked
what's
at each
wrong
other
with your
like,
voice?
Oh, dear.
Off key.
Farnborough.
Great stuff.
I got pitch.
Auto-tuned,
I got
yeah.
auto-tuned. It's our temporary mixing desk. I'm just blaming that for any problems or any issues. Yes. That's pretty much the problem. How are we, chaps? Now, I'm going to answer this question with you. You're both tired. One of you slightly more than the other.
I'm right.
I'm fine.
Fanta has
I don't have an
revitalised
excuse.
I'm fine. I'm Dad.
I don't have an excuse because I've had an adequate amount of sleep. So
Power nap.
I'm good. Yeah, power nap. But yeah.
Will?
I'm right. Doing okay. Looking forward to a bit of sleep later.
I guess we need to give some
kip.
context.
Yes.
That would help.
I mean, that probably would help.
Myself and Will have we've been working with a client called Darren Hardy, and he is trying to build his company Fortitude Front. He's actually brought to Will's attention via teacher Lauren. Any pod listeners who have Lauren as a teacher? Recommended Darren, and this morning we filmed a bit of his morning routine, and Darren likes to get up very, very early. But it was an absolutely beautiful shoot. We got to go up to the top of Caesar's camp and get there before the sun peaked the horizon.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice. Really, really nice. Really worth it. And I had a bit of toil to use, so decided to take the morning off to get the hours of sleep back that I missed. Will didn't. And
I stupidly used up all my toil over the summer holidays about a couple of days ago. And I couldn't do the same smart manoeuvre.
Yeah. So I went home, had a little nap, came in just after lunch. And
With a blue Fanta.
With a blue Fanta, yes.
I think this is the bigger point of the news story.
Rewarded with a blue Fanta.
Dun. News just in. Steve has a blue can of Fanta.
Which I have now decided that's probably my favourite Fanta.
Yes,
That one, so-
absolutely. So, for those of you out there, bit of context to the story. Me and my girlfriend very much enjoy American sweet stores. And we went into one in Bude when we went away for her birthday, and there was a fridge in this candy store, and it had about 10 different colours of Fanta in, most of which you'd never seen. 4 of them were just your standard, your orange, your fruit twist, is it called?
Yes.
And then the sugar-free alternatives, and there was a bunch of different colours, strawberry. There was a coffee one, which was pretty weird.
Ooh.
I don't think I would even want to fathom
boy.
that. Vanilla, etc., which was kind of a cream. And then there was a blue one called Fanta Berry. And I'd heard a lot about it in regards to, like, it was really hard to get in the UK like a year ago. So I thought, yeah, get that one. Jade got the strawberry one, which was kind of tame. And I opened that can, and it was amazing. And she actually...
Sounded like a love story.
Yeah, it was good. And it's been my
can,
favourite drink ever since. It's quite expensive in the UK. Usually a can's over £1.
Ooh.
But it is worth it. It is worth it. I had a look on Amazon. They're quite expensive to buy crates of them, and I'm not that obsessed with them. But
Crates.
Crates
of them.
The reason that I have had one today is because in a little corner store in Aldershot, near where Jade works, she found that they actually stock them. So she's been buying them for me.
Oh,
So, yeah.
how nice.
What a shout there. Nice little shout out to you, Jade. I don't think she even listens to the pod. Insert sad music. But yeah.
Dear.
Will.
Hello.
So we now established the Fanta Blueberry. Is it called Blueberry?
Fanta Berry.
Just Fanta Berry in a
Yep.
blue can is
Google it.
Steve's favourite fizzy beverage.
Ooh.
Oh, is it your favourite fizzy beverage?
Currently, yes.
All right,
I'd
so
say
it's your
current.
current favourite fizzy beverage. Will Devereux, same question to you. What is your current or all-time
Mate, it's
favourite
Dr.
fizzy
Pepper.
beverage?
Any day.
Dr. P.
Everything else is like decent. Dr. Pepper. I could have that at any point of the day, at any state.
Interesting. What about you?
See, for me, I mean, I do love a good Coca-Cola, but Apple Tango,
Nice.
get me an Apple Tango any day of the week. I will happily have them.
I didn't expect this part of the podcast to come, but can I ask you both a question?
we go.
Always.
So
always, Steve.
I listen to obviously quite a few podcasts, and one of my favourite segments is from a YouTuber's podcast. I'm not going to name them, but they have a segment. If any of you know the podcast, then fair play to all of you. But they basically go around, and every special guest they go on, they say, "What's your go-to meal deal?" Okay. So
Go-to meal deal?
Go-to meal deal.
That's an
Ooh.
easy
So
answer.
that includes the place, i.e. Tesco, Waitrose,
Yeah.
Sainsbury's, main snack and drink. Okay.
Easy.
So, all
Main
right, Will's
snack
gone.
and drink.
Let's go with Will first. Where do you
Alright.
go? What do you get?
Go to Boots
Okay,
is the shop.
interesting.
Chicken, it's either southern fried chicken wrap
Nice.
as the main. Drink any of the naked drinks.
Right, getting value for money.
Yeah, there you go. Steve knows. And then boots. So it depends how cheeky I'm feeling.
Oh,
Sometimes you can go for the brownie or the millionaire sort of shortbread sort of thing.
No crisps.
So that's if I'm not feeling spicy, then it's the crisps.
Nice. What
if
crisps?
I'm not feeling spicy.
They got skips, mate. I'll take them.
Nice. Okay. I like that. What about you, Val?
See, I've really got to think now because I don't really get meal deals that often. But when I do, it's normally in a Sainsbury's.
Nice.
Usually.
Do they do meal deals anymore?
Yeah.
They're just very expensive.
Yeah, they've changed them now because I used to get them at Vodafone all the time.
Back in my day, they were only £3. Yeah, so probably Sainsbury's because that's Nectar Points got to represent.
Yep.
Sandwich. See, I don't really go sandwich. Normally either go for traditional BLT, or go for something with like chicken salad. Nice,
Okay.
Slightly healthier.
Would-
Hashtag boring.
I want a definitive answer.
Yeah, this
BLT.
Because if we ever get guests
Yeah.
on, we need to ask them the same thing. I'm
All right,
stealing
all
this
right,
for another podcast.
All right, BLT.
Right.
I'd pick a BLT over a chicken salad all day. Then I normally don't go chocolate bars because I have like an infinite supply at home, so I go crisps.
Nice.
If McCoy's cheese and onion, all day,
Okay.
all day. Although they've changed the flavour, and I don't know if I'm keen on it anymore, which has very much bugged me.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
And the drink?
the drink. I'm kind of in the same boat as well. Whatever the most expensive drink I can find to fit into the deal.
Wait, the naked
although-
drinks are like the cost of the meal deal.
Yeah,
Instant
pretty
double
much.
value.
Oh.
I'll take
or
that. And it tastes
obviously
good, so.
Apple Tango, my boy. If that's there all day. Otherwise, just a normal Fanta Orange. It's quite a nice little. Or a no, Tango Orange is better than Fanta Orange. I'd go for either a Tango Apple or a Tango Orange if they're there. Boom,
Nice.
all day.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about yours, Steve? What is your go-to?
Well, I'd usually say Boots, but because I go there so often, I'm actually gonna say Tesco. Okay. The reason I'm saying Tesco is
Cut a
because
ball.
their chicken and bacon sub, if you've ever had a chicken and bacon sub from there, is to die for. Crisps.
I know this. I know the sandwich.
yeah.
Oh, sub,
Absolutely
sorry.
insane. Crisps is very straightforward. It's the sweet chili Walker's Fusions. Anybody know those?
Oh, the
I
black
do.
one?
Yes.
Black packet?
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't really get much in them, but they taste good. And then
Got a
for,
bit of a kick to that, doesn't
yep. And then for drink, I get a silver Purdy's. Do you know what Purdy's is?
No idea.
It's like a fizzy. It's in a glass bottle. It's like a fizzy.
Oh no, you one of them.
Oh, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a fizzy multivitamin drink. It tastes like a Barocco, which is really bizarre. But I want to say it's either passion fruit or elderflower. It's either one of them. But it's a really unique taste. But it's a multivitamin like energy drink of sorts. But it doesn't give you the effect of the shakes like the Monsters do. Yeah, that's my go-to.
What was it called?
Interesting.
It's called a Purdy's. Purdeys.
Never
If
heard
I
of it.
showed you the
Never
bottle, I
heard of it.
reckon I'm
gonna
the
Google that.
A
yeah,
Purdy's.
a Purdy's. When you see the bottle, you would have seen them. Try them. It's carbonated. It's a carbonated drink. It's actually
Oh.
really nice. It's in a glass bottle as well.
See, now you're making me think of my favourite crisps now, which is really bugging me.
So I go for quality over quantity because sometimes I really want a lot of food. I'd go for the paprika Walker's Maxes.
Oh yes, now that is a quality crisp.
but
That is a quality crisp.
but yeah,
Is it that?
that's it. That's the black version. I go with the silver one because that's the first one I ever had. The black one I don't think it's carbonated. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah.
Hang
I
on,
recognise
spin
it.
your phone round, Will. Let's have a gander.
It's
What
not
is
quite
this?
a phone, but
Oh right, well, tablet rather.
Recognise those? Anybody
very
listening
loosely,
to the pod,
very loosely.
if you like a Purdy's, they're good. Apparently they're supposed to be good for you, but it's like
Oh.
they on the label the sugars is in the red.
I'm gonna read a customer review. Let's have a look.
When aren't the sugars in the red?
Never
for
tried
most
Purdy's
drinks?
before, and it was somewhat unsure of the taste.
That's what draws you in. With the first taste, you're like, oh my goodness, what is this?
I was
But then you want
unsure
to
whether
taste
I'd be
more.
getting a weird tea-flavored water or an energy drink, but it's as if it's made of berries and has half the sugar content of certain other leading drinks. What have I got to lose? Turns out it's actually quite a nice drink. It has a fruity flavour, light carbonation, and just as sweet tasting as I normally like.
Yeah.
Guess I'll be getting some more of these.
I guess I have to buy some for next week,
A light carbonation.
and you have to just
Ooh.
try them on the pod.
Yeah.
They're quite expensive though. That's why I get
Oh.
them with the meal deal. They're like £1.80, and
Solid.
it's not a very big bottle.
Oof.
All right, solid
See-
review from Dan here. Hang on.
Oh, not our boss Dan,
No,
because that'd be quite funny.
Dan from Amazon.
Dan from Amazon.
Dan, not that tasty. Left a weird aftertaste.
Oh.
See, I
2-star.
I can understand that because when I first tried it, I was in the same boat. It's a weird taste. It's not like something I could ever describe.
Maybe just bring one in, and we all just try it.
Okay.
If you want.
Yeah, it's good.
Last pod of the year next week.
I know that Costco do big batches of them, which actually make me quite tempted.
Ooh.
But yeah, the podcasts that I've listened to, they do loads of these kind of questions, like what's your go-to meal deal, and there's 2 other ones. I don't really want to I might save them for next week.
How about next week we go off cuff and we just go question time?
I'll ask. Oh, should we get people to send in questions next week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy,
All day.
let's try that. Okay.
Just generic questions, and we each have to give an
Definitely
answer.
putting that on the newsletter.
Hit us up on Instagram. Put a question on the comment for obviously this podcast video.
Or email them to us.
Email technet@farmer.ac.uk.
You know, if you get in
Hit us
touch
up on
with,
Twitter.
we'll see it.
Yeah, of course.
All
Or
right.
just come and swing by and say, hey, here's an interesting question for you.
Send us hypotheticals.
Any,
They're always really good.
any topic? Are we going literally
Yeah,
anywhere
why
with
not?
this?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Any topic. We'll
topic.
tackle it as long as it's not like.
Favourite film?
Not
What do you
safe
get
for
at a kebab shop after a night out?
Oh, interesting.
What type of fuel do you put in your car? I'm joking. That's
That's
pretty lame
isn't the answer for all of us unleaded?
super unleaded. No,
Oh,
I'm joking.
whoa.
V power.
Big spender over
Bring
there,
power.
Mr. Super Unleaded. Whoa. Put that wallet down, Will.
I think this is the longest we've gone in the podcast without hearing
actually
that.
doing any
TechNet
any
news.
jingles at all. It's
I know.
great. I love going off piste. It's
Best
brilliant.
day
Oh.
of my life.
You mean this?
Yes. Amazing. Well, it's actually really sad because anybody who knows what that's from Auntie Donna, they've actually finished their Glenridge High School series.
Which
So they're going on
saddens me
tour
greatly.
now. Yeah, they're going on tour for a little while, which means I don't think we'll actually see content from them for about 3 to 5 months usually. Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
their tour consist of? Is it just them singing?
It's basically
and
it's just a sketch show.
stuff? Oh, right. Oh, cool.
You
Okay,
can look at
that's-
their stuff
I can see
online. For those who don't know who Auntie Donna is, it's an Australian government-funded kind of sketch show, but it's very. Would you say it was toilet humour?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's like a toilet humour
It's
for an Aussie audience, but it's very. There's a lot of meme potential in there, which is why we as a 3 quite enjoy them. Let us leave that with you.
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of think Lonely Island, but 3 Australian blokes.
Perfect.
I think is my favourite way
Yeah.
to describe them to people who don't know who they are.
Things don't really make sense, and I don't really want to know what. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Auntie Donna. That's what that reference is from.
I'm Broden.
Mm.
I think that'll be a jingle next year. I'm Broden. Just to end any conversation. I'm Broden.
But yeah,
But yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Definitely check them out. Auntie Donna. Great value humour.
Yeah.
Makes me chuffed.
Right, should we do well,
Yeah.
very much. I think we kind of filled the segment. Play the
No,
jingle. You
no.
know what's coming.
Well, this isn't TechNet News, though, Steve. This is TechNet News. So, Steve, what's been happening in the world of TechNet? Tell us more.
Well, 2 weeks ago we said there was going to be a video out and we still haven't done it.
Hang on, that needs a yeah. There we go. Come on,
Well, to be fair,
get your excuses out now.
we have been working tirelessly.
I think the students have just been hogging the studio, to be honest. You
Yep.
know what? That's our issue. We had it booked. We had it planned.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. What,
And
fr-
then-
last Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Look at us,
This-
sacrificing
this
the
lot
YouTube
had to,
channel.
yeah, this lot had to come in and do their coursework. Oh, Lord.
Oh dear.
Coursework. Oh, I need my grades. Oh, yeah.
It's
we
not
heard that one
important.
before.
Our videos are more important. Jokes.
Yeah, we've kind of been prepping for next year, I'd kind of say. Can we? Oh no,
What? Can we what, Steve? There's something in your mind.
there is. We'd like to plug what's happening on Monday.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They've been invited to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, thank. Oh.
Yeah, the C-Tech Awards. Is
Okay,
that what you're
good.
referring to?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was.
Yeah,
some
well,
sort
we
of
can't talk about winners or anything.
No, that's
Me.
fine. But
Me.
that
Best teacher, me. What?
Jane's been working on the content for that, so we can't even
Absolutely.
take credit for that. But that's coming up, so that'll be something that'll be featured.
We don't even know who's won.
No,
Actually, tell a lie, I do, but
I have no idea.
should be good fun.
I don't know any of the categories. I'll be honest.
Documentary, producers, directors,
Advertisement?
Advertising, the short film they've recently been making, the advertising campaign the singles have been making, and there's a special award at the end which I'm not going to reveal.
Cool.
Mm.
Yeah. We actually, really exciting news.
Yes.
Have any of you podcast listeners out there had a look at the TV as you come into the media and
this was
film
big
department?
Big news.
How exciting! It's basically Mr. Bale,
Yes.
was very smart to go and say that digital signage was a thing. And at first I was like, well, what is digital signage?
WTF.
I then found out that we could have made these little advertisements that appear where on the little TV that tells you what the weather's going to be like and if you've bought your train tickets for this term and stuff, which is helpful information.
Who's logged into a computer in the Dell or
exactly.
whatever.
This is helpful information, yes, I do agree. But say a student buys his or hers or theirs season ticket on the first day of term, right? That space is wasted. In that space, we can plug this podcast, we can plug the TechNet YouTube page, and we can plug the newsletter. And that is exactly what has happened. So if you're coming upstairs and you look at the TV and you see one of the advertisements, well, let that brighten up your day. I have not much else to say from that.
They're there. Look out.
But yeah, which is really cool. So onwards and upwards with the old spanning out of social media. So that happened. As well. Oh my God, it's all popping into my head. This is why I should have made notes. If you go on technet.farnborough.ac.uk and scroll down ever so slightly on the home page, you'll notice 2 new buttons that are there for you. On there, which is actually good as well for those pod listeners that aren't part of the department but have a Farnborough account, if you do go via that URL and you go onto the newsletter, you can read the newsletter that we always talk about, which is really good. Tab 1 is the most recent newsletter. So if you want to check it out, cool. Because obviously a lot of the time I'm always talking about click on this link for this, click on this link for that. And obviously there's a physical copy in the department. But obviously you can't go and just tap on the wall and it won't load a link, obviously. So yeah, if you can't find it in your emails or for some reason you didn't receive the email, firstly let us know if you don't. But you can just go technet.farnborough.ac.uk, click on the most recent one. Or next to it is the archive. And in the archive is all of the newsletters from that year. And would have been last year if you're listening to this in September. So, yes, a lot of advancements in how we reach in our social media. On top of that, what else have we been doing? James, you've been working on some posters in the IT suites that
so many posters
should be coming into fruition. Not going to spoil what they are, but you're working on that, aren't you?
There's going to be some fresh poster designs in the IT suite. Advertising us and various other things and bits and bobs. There's going to be some new media posters as well. More posters everywhere. Posters. Also, one thing totally didn't mention. You can now go to youtube.com/TechNetYT and jump straight to our channel because we have a direct address now.
Nice.
And it isn't like youtube.com/C7458729111189 and loads of guffins. So literally just type TechNetYT, YT obviously for YouTube, and then you can find our channel. Really nice and easy.
Really annoying that TechNet was taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think by Microsoft. So.
Oh really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think they're fairly big. And I don't think we can compete with them that much. But yeah, no. So we've got a dedicated URL for that. We've obviously got the dedicated TechNet URL as well now. So just type technet.farnborough.ac.uk. You get straight to us. And yeah, it's all going. It's all coming up Millhouse
like that. That's basically it. We've just kind of been doing back of house admin in prep for the new year, making things bigger and better in the department. So there you go.
Straight.
If you see a new video, we've had a free period. If you don't, more admin.
just look if you pop by there, sorry, just look how either depressed we look because of admin, or if our eyes are drained because of Photoshop and various other admin
maybe
that we're having to do.
We'll see. But yeah, that's it. That's
nice.
That's your weekly update. There you go.
We've been busy. Is the answer. Obviously, stop asking for help. No, keep asking for help. If you stop asking for help, then we're just like,
we don't have a job.
Yeah, exactly. Please ask us for help at all times. But yeah, no, it's all going. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for TechNet News.
That is, yep.
Nice. Let's have a bit of tech news for any latest technology with Mr. Will Devereaux.
Oh, hello and welcome back to Tech News. So today, I've got a few articles, a few stories for you. The first one's quite interesting. So, just quickly going around the room, what is your primary internet browser? Sort of like phones and desktop. Steve?
Chrome.
Oh.
Chrome on the phone and a mix of Chrome and Firefox on my computer at home.
Okay. Well, Firefox is spending a lot of money in redeveloping their sort of app for devices, and I mean a lot of money. And they want to tackle the Chrome user base, because I think in terms of definitely mobile use, you don't know other really Internet Explorers come into mind, really, do they? Like,
apart from Safari.
Yeah.
If you've got an Apple, you'll have Safari. If you've got any Android phone, it'll be Chrome.
yeah,
But most people are still downloading the Chrome app even with Safari available on their
yeah,
iPhone.
yeah, exactly. So
I would say Chrome has a monopoly on the phone market.
yeah,
pretty
definitely.
Much.
So what Firefox is doing, they're putting all this money into this app. They basically want to make it much faster than Chrome in terms of just sort of browsing, loading web pages, all that sort of stuff. And they want to minimize user tracking.
Ooh.
So your data, so like how we all have these sort of events where we say something or
Creeps me out,
Google
man.
something, or we check something, and then the next thing you know, adverts on Facebook, being sent posts. There's a salesman at your door trying to sell you that orange Fiesta that you saw. All sorts
That
of stuff.
Hyundai that we were talking about.
Yeah.
My goodness. Will basically in the edit suite told me about a
Yeah,
Hyundai i30 or something like
Yeah,
that. A really
i30N.
unique car. And then within about half an hour, I went on my Facebook and it was there as a sponsored post. And I'd never seen or even heard of this vehicle before we had the conversation. Very creepy.
Yeah. So it's meant to reduce that a little bit. So that's what they're pouring all their money into. I'm sure we're going to see some like advertising campaigns and stuff for it soon.
I've just had a look in the Google Play Store. Sorry to interrupt you. You can find it. It's called Firefox Preview, and it is on the Google Play Store right now.
Oh, okay,
if you want to give it a test.
Is that like
run.
the beta version?
I think so.
Okay.
It seems to have quite a lot of reviews on at the moment. An average score of 4.3 out of 5.
Solid. I wonder what Chrome's got.
I can find it. Hang on. Thrilling podcasting here. Me typing in the word Chrome into the Google Play Store.
What's the score?
4.3.
Oh, okay.
It's the same.
Obviously, a lot more Chrome users. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Although if you want, although the highest browser is DuckDuckGo Privacy Browser, 4.7.
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, it's got a little icon of a duck. It looks hilarious. Looks like a little happy duck.
Oh, dear.
It's got a little bow tie. All he needs is a top hat.
I mean, it's always interesting, a bit like we said with cameras, how competitions always kind of benefit the consumer. So maybe Google will see this and be like, you know what, yeah, maybe we should tighten down our sort of data we're giving companies and stuff. So that was quite interesting. The next one is 5G. Moving back onto that, obviously we kind of spoke a bit about it in some previous podcasts. But Vodafone has now officially launched 5G in 7 cities, big cities across the UK. It's the second company to do so behind EE. And it is coming to Guildford later this year, which is quite interesting. Cool. So it's pretty close to us already. And apparently it's 100 times faster than 4G.
Well, I don't get any 4G in Guildford, so I'm actually hoping that I might actually help
get
in some circumstances.
Yeah. And however, there's been quite a lot of concern. I originally saw this on an Instagram post. So Lewis Hamilton put out a Instagram post saying, so happy to be part of like supporting 5G from Vodafone. And a lot of the comments, the majority, I say like the first half of them, big chunk, were all about don't support 5G, stop 5G, it's going to kill you. And
it's going to kill you.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of studies going, like they've released 5G, but apparently there hasn't been enough studies or tests in terms of like the amount of transmission or radiation it kind of proves going, like because it's using so much data so quickly. They're saying the sort of like waves it's sending out could be impactful, and in some cases could cause cancer. So it was like, okay. So I haven't been able to read into it too much more than that. However, there was a lot of people commenting on it, so I think it was quite interesting to see kind of how people stand on that, and whether, I don't know, they might pause the service until they can kind of guarantee that it's not doing that. Who knows? But that that's
interesting.
Out there now. Yeah, so 7 cities at the moment, and more coming soon. The other 2, I guess I'll kind of pass over to you, Bill.
I've found some interesting thing. Obviously, I'd love your thoughts on this, as we've kind of really plugged was it the DJI Osmo, the little sort of handheld GoPro killer. Canon are starting an Indiegogo campaign. Interesting. Obviously, Canon, fairly large camera company, I'd argue, have made something called the Ivy Rec clippable camera. And it's basically like a camera built into a carabiner clip. which I just thought looked quite interesting.
It is. I had a look myself. It's interesting, but I do agree. I don't get the Indiegogo thing.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Surely they've got enough money for R&D.
Yeah, just give it a go. Release a few. Send out a prototype.
I guess for them, it's like a safe release strategy, isn't it? Rather than putting all the money into R&D, releasing it, and it doesn't sell.
You're seeing if the customer base wants it first.
Yeah, you're seeing if they want it, and at the same time, they're funding the research at the same time. So I think that's actually a pretty smart move. Although I'm not too sure, like, I don't really get the purpose of it though.
No.
What's it replacing? What's it doing?
It's almost like, if you're like going for a hike or something, you just clip the camera to your rucksack and you can kind of film where you're looking, maybe.
I guess, but it's going to be like
yeah, it's going to be
like
like so jump. Like, why would you not use a GoPro for
or
that?
a DJI Osmo?
Yeah.
Or just but
I don't really get what
weird.
it does.
I don't know. It intrigued me because the majority of the body says the word Canon on it. So they've managed to find obviously the big brand logo on it. It's fully waterproof. It's clippable, which is obviously the kind of main plugging feature of it. And apparently they were saying the clip can become a viewfinder. So when the clip is closed, it's a viewfinder, so you can look through the square and see what.
Is that seriously a feature?
That is what they said. I can't remember what website I read it on. Not on the official like Indiegogo thing, but I don't know if that was said as a bit of a banter joke. But I'm just intrigued.
Yeah, but like,
yeah,
it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, okay, I've got this small object for a camera. How can I see what I'm recording? Oh, I need my phone.
But yeah, it's basically like a little phone camera within a little.
I just
clip.
use my phone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Very odd.
Yeah,
interesting move by Canon. I don't know why though. Very bizarre.
Yeah, so there's that one. And what was the
other one? Now I spotted this and thought it was quite well. These kind of stories amuse me anyway, but I don't know why this one particularly hit a chord with me. Mainly because obviously you two have your own little like business going on, and other obviously independent businesses where influencers. I'm using that term incredibly broadly. Influencers are sort of demanding more and more free things. And there was a particular post. These people from, I think they're based in America, where they were being demanded to provide free wedding photography for an influencer's wedding. And they were like, "Hey, we can plug you to our 55,000 followers
across multiple accounts.
Asterisks. And yeah, I just thought it just seems like quite an interesting culture now, where you've got a lot of influencers in air quotes, whether that be Instagram or YouTube or Twitter or whatever, trying to get more and more freebies because they can influence their target market, they can influence their followers to buy your product. And I was just wondering what you two thought of that kind of. Has this ever happened to you? Have people gone, "Oh yeah, can I have that for free? I'll give you some exposure."
I think, the concept is like sponsorship, isn't it? Which has been around for like ever. It's the idea of like, oh, I'll stick my brand on you, and then you give me exposure. But I think the issue of this article was the fact that they were establishing the fact that their sort of following was worth thousands and thousands of pounds worth of services that these guys would be offering. For like planning a wedding in like 2 years in advance or something, which is pretty crazy.
With 2 1-hour videos on top of 1,000 photos.
Yeah, so
which is quite a lot for a wedding.
Yeah, I think they valued it about 4K of worth of stuff.
Plus, then all the extras for like SD cards and batteries and all that jazz.
Yeah,
so.
and if you think from their perspective, like 55,000 people in terms of a marketing strategy is like nothing. It's like, and it's not. There's no target audience.
No.
And they mentioned in the article, a lot of that could quite easily be bots or accounts and stuff like that quite easily. So they're very, very rightly kind of said, well, 55,000 doesn't really do much for us. But I think it's just the fact that they weren't, in the original email, they didn't really start a conversation. It was more of a demand. And especially the bit that kind of annoyed me from a business perspective is at the end of it, they were like, we've sent this email to multiple other businesses, respond quick if you want the opportunity. Which you kind of just laugh at. You're like, and their reply was, thank you for telling us that you've sent the same generic email to 5 other businesses. It clearly shows that you value our services. Which have obviously just copied and pasted this email. And then on top of that, They even go to state that we're happy to offer a referral link where people who click on it can get 25% off your services.
So that's a hell of a lot of
yeah,
money.
they're like, well, hang on a sec. Who said you can offer discounts on our services in the first place? And then they literally list a breakdown of like how the money's spent for the services.
Unlike a $4,000 package, that's a
Yeah.
grand automatically just gone.
Yeah, and then they give a breakdown and they say we're not actually making that much money from this in terms of like overheads and kit and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, just the fact that they felt like, we could just slap 25% on that, that's fine. It was a bit baffling.
Yeah.
I think they just need to justify that number. So say that hypothetically there was an influencer with 100,000 followers and was like, well, if you paid for advertising for a reach of 100,000 people, it would cost you this amount. Would you consider taking that amount off the bill?
Yeah.
That would make sense rather
Mm.
than approaching, like, as you say, someone who's in demand. Like, if you can justify your side of the bargain, then I think it's smart business. But that article itself is just terrible.
Yeah.
I've got a hunch that the company itself, the one who put it out on their own Facebook, the production company or photographer's company, I think it's a hoax.
Oh.
Yeah,
because it's just someone called Melissa. Someone called Melissa. Nobody ever gets named. It's just a random person. It's very set up so they can make themselves look a bit up and smart and how these guys are really funny.
Oh, interesting.
But then, as I said to you, I was really gutted that they didn't actually out this influencer.
Yeah.
Why not?
Very bizarre.
It's 55.
Well, apparently they outed them.
Yeah.
So you'd think that some evidence would be
from
there.
the other
right,
side, but there's nothing. Yeah. It's a great publicity
Ooh.
stunt.
I was
Don't
about
get
to
me
say,
wrong.
in terms of publicity for that, you've clicked in the article, you now know about them.
I mean, I'm not
hunch.
getting married anytime soon.
But yeah, it was just an interesting one. Because they just showed nothing, and it was that line at the end saying, "P.S. We'd love to know who the actual influencer is, etc." Because I don't think many influencers with 55,000 followers have clients, have like admin or like PAs who would firstly speak like that. I just don't see it happening.
No,
because if anybody spoke to you like with 55,000 followers, you're not going to get much back in the slightest. So it's weird. It's a weird one, but it's an interesting topic. Very interesting topic.
Yeah. I just thought like this kind of whole influencer culture. It's kind of like the Fire Festival documentary. If you saw it on Netflix as well. Obviously not in the same kind of big leagues as that, but in the kind of similar vein of we need the influencers coming for free because they post a picture, 10 people like it or whatever. Very odd. Very odd.
Yeah, well that wraps up my segment for this week.
Woohoo! Tech news. Only one more left of the year. Dun dun dun.
Well, maybe no. If we do our off-piece podcast next time.
Yeah.
If we do our
my god, that could be the last tech news.
Could be the last everything for this season.
Oh my days. Now you're making me worried. I still don't have a jingle for Tune of the Week. I suck. So I'm just gonna
take us to it.
I'm just gonna start for Tune of the Week featuring a trombone.
That was so sad.
I know.
That was
you know what? I'm quite tempted. I'm quite tempted to get my keyboard out. That's right. I have a keyboard, not a computer keyboard.
You just have to make up a jingle,
and I will make one
every time.
I will make what every I have to do live music. Oh man,
Yeah.
I do not trust myself. I can try and fail majestically. Is what will happen. I'll be like Tune of the Week and just play chords and just see what happens. It might be interesting. Shall I try it just 1 week?
I think you should.
All right. To do it like the Christmas special, just put like the jingle kind of like theme in the background.
Just a harmonica you just blow into it once.
Anyway, Tune of the Week. What song have I been listening to? I put this out to a global vote, mainly to Steve, because Will hated one of the songs anyway, so I discounted that one. And I managed to bring it down to 3.
Deal with the auto-tune.
Oh, but I love it for
Name
every.
and shame.
I love it
Name
for
and
all the
shame the
reasons.
song.
It's C Bastille and it's Grip or something like that. It's just got a very weird tonal shift that basically pitch shift auto tunes it up horrendously high compared to. But for some reason, it makes me laugh and it really annoys Will. Maybe that's why I keep playing it. But yeah, after Steve gave them a listen, he was like, not this one, not this one, this one.
Yeah.
And he picked the third choice I put in there, which almost was a Tune of the Week. just before Christmas. It was very close to being Tune of the Week then. It's Cascade is the band, not Cascada, the female dance person. It's Cascade, another DJ person. And the song is called On Your Mind. It's a song that's been out since about kind of December-ish 2018. I've been listening to it for quite a while. It's got a really nice funky video. It's got a really nice kind of, no, I wouldn't say kind of like downbeat, but almost kind of fairly chilled dance beat going under it. And I just think it's really good.
I'd go as far to say, I'm really putting out there, unless you pull out an absolute showstopper next week, I think it's going to be Song of the Year for me.
Is this going to be a thing at the end of the season?
We did listen to this at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Fair.
It was played in the car.
Yep.
And it got us preamped.
Yep. It's good. It's a good song.
Matt, maybe we'll do that as a feature for next week. We'll have instead of Tune of the Week, we'll have Tune of the Year. What has been your favourite tune that I've picked this year?
Yeah, top 3 maybe.
Top 3. And we need to have it in 3, 2, 1 order.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Will you opt for that?
Yep.
Listen to all the previous tunes of the week. Obviously, do tune in to the Where's My Kit Bag playlist on Spotify, and you can listen to them all to your heart's content. But yeah, we'll put the YouTube link in the track below. Cascade's a really cool DJ. I've been following him for absolutely years. He's done some stuff with Deadmau5 in the past. He's done all sorts. I think he's based in California, if I remember rightly. And he's just a really cool DJ. He's really normally quite chilled on stage. He's not sort of like really brash and out there. But yeah, I would highly recommend Cascade, On Your Mind.
Nice.
If you get bored, listen to I Remember. It's probably his biggest hit with Deadmau5. Yeah, there you go. Fun facts for you.
Very nice.
But yeah, I'll put that on the Kitbag playlist. There'll be a link on the SoundCloud description, YouTube description, and if Spotify copies it, it'll be on there as well as the old iTunes or now Apple Podcasts.
Oh, yes.
Whatever it's called now.
Nice.
So yeah, give it a listen. Tell us what you think. Is it your track of the year?
Who knows?
Is the question. Stephen Cale.
Only like track of the year for the Where's My Kit Bag.
Yes, our track of the year.
Yeah.
Our personal track of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that pretty much brings us around to Film of the Week / what have I been watching this week? Who wants to start us off? Who has been watching things this week?
Ooh,
I've watched something.
What did you watch, Will?
I watched the new Marvel film.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You mean the Spider-Man?
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Nice.
And I thought it was okay. I guess with the Marvel films now, I kind of have a decent expectation just because you expect from previous stuff, like the storytelling's pretty good, character development now is pretty good. I don't know if it was just the young cast or, I don't know, the setting or something like that. I just felt like my hand was being held through the whole film, personally. I enjoyed it, still had good fun watching it. But I think I gave it like a 6.5, personally.
Ooh. Do you think it's aimed at a slightly younger audience compared to the other Marvel stuff?
No, I think it's just weak in terms of storyline. Like, the trouble is, I think with the Marvel universe is that they've obviously fought Thanos, who's been like the greatest threat. So I think anything that isn't parallel,
or exceeds.
Yeah, like what? It just doesn't have the same kick anymore. I don't think.
Oh, interesting.
Like the Earthbound sort of enemies aren't really like, you're like, oh, a bit. I don't know. That's kind of the position I was in anyway.
Because who is the enemy Sandman in this one? Is it or?
I can't say.
Oh! Spoilers.
I can't say. Definitely can't say.
Interesting.
It's interesting. It is interesting.
Because Jake Gyllenhaal plays Mysterio.
Correct.
Is it?
Yeah.
They've obviously got Tom Holland comes back as Spider-Man. Now he's been dedusted.
So the premise is
spoilers.
Basically these elementals from a different dimension have started spawning on Earth. Mysterio's come from that dimension to help Spider-Man out to defeat them. That's kind of like the premise of the film.
Who do you think was better, Tom Holland or Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh, Tom Holland, I think, by far. Ooh. Yeah, I think it's a pretty weak performance from Jake Gyllenhaal, to be honest.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was okay.
Nice.
Would I say watch it? If you like Marvel,
if you like Marvel, yes. If not,
pass. Not, it's really not worth it. It's like not much out of it. I thought the two best in it was Tom Holland and the person he plays Happy, which is like Tony's assistant.
Oh,
I forgot his name, but he's
Truro.
Something like that.
I think it's Truro. Is it Truro? I think I'm just going to gamble. I'm going to gamble and think I'm right.
Yeah, and finally caught the first episode of Chernobyl.
Ah,
well.
what did you think?
I enjoyed it. Really cool. It was pretty intense, but very gripping. I'm looking forward to watching the rest.
Nice. I agree.
Yeah, that sums me up.
Sweet. Steve, what have you been gandering?
I've actually been kind of trying to get through, as weird as it sounds, a lot of like Pixar films that I've not seen that I really should have seen. So I caught Brave last week. Actually loved it. I thought it was wicked.
Scotland.
Sucker for a Scottish accent. I can't
Hello
lie.
there, Steve.
No, it was wicked. Really cool film.
I haven't seen Brave in years.
Well, obviously there's a lot you could go into with regards to the storyline of a lot of loose ends, but with it being a Pixar film, no one really cares. It was a bit of a silly fairy tale of sorts. No, I really I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was a sweet little film. Tied up loose ends quite well. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, probably everybody listening to this podcast has probably seen it. I seem like to be the only one. But no, I really enjoyed it. I'd give it like an 8.5.
Solid.
But
solid score.
Solid Pixar film. Can't really argue with it. It was quite nice. Looked really nice, really pretty film. And as I said, sucker for a Scottish accent. So if it was like an American accent, I think it wouldn't have been as
Hi
good.
there, I'm Brave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I don't think it would have worked.
I just enjoyed the heritage.
Is that her name?
I don't think so.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh,
You watched the film, Steve. What's her name?
Can't remember.
I was about to say that's a bit of a funny
The
name.
princess.
Oh, they're brave.
Just the princess. That's
The
all
princess.
I remember. Yeah, so there's that. I watched a documentary on Netflix recommended by Jane called The Grey State, which is, I won't go into it too much. So I think it's something that people need to check out themselves. It's essentially it's a documentary about a man who how do I describe it? There was something that happened in his life that is arguably down to what he was doing in regards to making a film for a very alt-right movement, so to speak. There's a lot of controversy up in the air in regards to what happened, but it's definitely worth checking out. It's a very archive footage documentary, of course, if that hints at what happens. But yeah, very, very interesting, very up for debate, very very topical documentary for this day and age of the new order kind of world that people are too scared to kind of talk about, I guess. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's called The Grey State. Yeah, check it out. That's pretty cool. And then I'm halfway through Cars 2.
Wait, you've paused
Love it.
halfway through Cars 2?
Yeah, I started watching it last night. And then obviously I needed to get up early, so I was like, oh, this film's a bit longer than I anticipated. So yeah, again, trying to crack through the Pixar films just because I'm with everything kind of winding down at work here at the moment. I was kind of like, I don't want to be too challenged. Did you ever go through those phases with
Yes.
films? So I'm like, yeah, I'll squeeze out some films that I'm like, I can just sit back and passively enjoy. Yeah, and just make me laugh. So I'm enjoying them at the moment. And that's it really with my busy old week. What about you?
I've not really been watching too much actually of recent times. I've been watching a lot of the women's World Cup actually. That's been quite nice to just have it on the background. Just a nice bit of footy, to be honest. Obviously, sadly, the England ladies are out. Tears cry. Although what was quite good was watching the Netherlands-Sweden go into extra time. It's quite nice.
Oh.
So it'll be Netherlands versus the USA in the final, which I think is this weekend, if I remember rightly. But yeah, so that could be quite a good, interesting watch if you fancy footy. We'll be in the third place playoff. So it could do better. So the Lionesses could do better than the men's and get third instead of fourth in the World Cup, which could be quite an interesting watch if football's your thing. I've got a little bit more time on my hands where I'm not constantly planning, marking, teaching, all that jazz. I found a bit of time to catch up on the TV shows that I kind of watch. One of which being called The 100. Anyone ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Defro.
Olive wants to watch that, but we haven't started. Is it? They're on the spaceship, and there's something
Yes.
to do with Earth's kind of being destroyed, and they send 100 people down.
Yes, basically loose premise from season 1, because now it's season 5. I think I'm up to now. I haven't spammed it all the way. I've been kind of keeping up with it as it goes. Season 5 is the most recent one. But yeah, season 1. The kind of loose premise is you've got Earth's been massive nuclear, like everyone's just decided to try and kill themselves with nukes, irradiate the whole planet. Everyone's kind of escaped into this giant spaceship called the Ark, I think, obviously standard name for some kind of savior device. And then they send, because they're like running low on oxygen, they're running low on food, they're basically like running low on all kind of resources. They're deciding to send 100 kids, I say kids, so kind of like, teens, moody teens, down to the ground to see if it's all right for human habitation. So they send the 100 kids down, and then all their stories kind of progress from there. And then it's a case of, do they meet people on the ground? Do they interact with some of the animals and creatures there? Do they ever go back to the Ark? And it's all those kind of things. And now they've got all the way to season 5, which if I tell you anything that's happened, it will ruin the experience for you, and I won't so far. But I think it took I thought at the end of season 4, it took a really nice turn. I was like, oh, this is going places. But then season 5 kind of then like just kind of did a bit of a downward trajectory so far. But I've still got 2-3 more episodes to catch up on. So the trajectory might have gone back up. I don't know. But it's all right. As a series, I don't hate it. I don't utterly adore it. I'm like, I like this. It's all right. It's just nice to have there. Probably as a whole, I'd give it like a 6.5, 7.
Oh, nice.
Probably. Nothing too savage. But it's no, I don't think
easy watching sort of thing.
Yeah, it's quite an easy. It's quite like, here's the storyline.
Is it that sort of like mid-tier acting sort of stuff? Yeah.
The main lead character is a girl called Eliza. Can't remember her surname, but she used to be in Neighbours.
What a role.
Yeah.
What a credit.
You gotta love some Neighbours. Neighbours is what I grew up on. Crikey, come home from home, see Neighbours, boom, watch that. Watch a nice bit of Aussie drama. There's a couple of other faces you'll recognise in there from, just kind of like extra characters from stuff. And yeah, it's definitely a nice easy watch. You don't have to think too much. There's the odd like really good episode. You're like, damn, they can nail this. And then there's a kind of like, much like The Walking Dead, filler, pad filler, zombies. But yeah, others have been catching up with that really. And then, obviously, major news came out today. Stranger Things 3, it's back. Yes,
it is.
That is on my watch list. Very much so. Straight on there. Boom. Are you two fans of Stranger Things?
Yeah, just because I haven't seen season 2 since it got released. I'm like,
I'll do a bit of a catch up.
Yeah, I need to watch previously on Stranger Things.
I think I enjoyed the first season a lot more than the second.
Yeah.
For some reason, but
more focused on story than production value.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first season it had that Alien vibe of like there's something but you don't know what it is, and like you hear it and stuff but you don't see it. And then once you see them, it's
kind of ruins it.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays people punch so much money into like the CGI budget and stuff.
It's like Cloverfield, isn't it? Where they don't really show it until like the very
personally,
end.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That was the bit of Bird Box I kind of liked. And like not seeing the creature.
Bird Box.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Bird Box. That's really weird.
Oh,
but yeah.
Throwback.
I did see one review that said Stranger Things goes back to the season 1 vibe. So I'm like,
okay. All right,
so
nice.
it could be an upward trajectory. But I'm very excited. I'm gonna absolutely watch the hell out of that over the next couple of days. That's for sure. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, that pretty much rounds up our podcast.
Lovely.
After our humongous tangents right at the beginning, which I love it dearly. It's the unscripted sector.
Nice.
But yeah, otherwise, we have been Where's My Kit Bag? We'll have one more episode next week, which will be episode 25 and the end of season 1 of the Where's My Kit Bag podcast. Where please obviously throw your questions in for us. We'll have sort of like a question-a-thon.
Yep.
We'll get some questions from the staff as well. Why not? Throw all the content in there.
So are we going to abolish all of the categories, or are we just going to have a special?
Well, I think a special. What do you two think?
Wing it.
Wing it.
Definitely.
Unscripted, unplanned.
Nice.
We should put a timer on, and then as soon as we hit the time, we just cut. And we're mid-sentence.
And then I'll see
quick
the counting
outro.
Bye. Yeah, we'll do that. It'll be quite funny. Well, we'll keep it short and sweet. Half an hour?
Yeah,
half an hour
why
tops.
not? Why not?
We'll put a timer on my phone on. I'll
This is
just keep
clearly
glaring
been
at
longer
it.
than half an hour, this podcast.
Oh yes, I'm
I
not
think
going to
it's
tell you
like
what
an
the number
hour.
is. Nah, we're not there yet.
I would say 47 minutes.
Nah, 50, just past.
Bloody hell.
I know.
So why
It's 'cause
cap it at half an hour for a special?
All right, we'll
Fort-
cap it an hour.
45.
45.
Yeah, meet you in the
45. Done. Sold.
Nice.
Nice. All I need is a gavel. But yeah, it's been Where's My Kit Bag podcast. Myself, James,
Me, Will.
I'm Steve.
and we will see you next week for the last episode of season 1 of Where's My Kit Bag podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Where's My Kit Bag podcast. I'm Steve. Hello. If you do want to drop us some questions or any sort of advice for next year, at F6 Media Film, Instagram and Twitter, or drop us an email at farnborough.technet@farnborough.ac.uk. Oh boy.